Welcome to Office Drama 24, the podcast where we explore the dark side of the workplace, a place where coffee breaks can turn into court cases and water cooler gossip becomes headline news. I'm your host, Mary B., and today we're diving into stories so crazy, so out there, you'll never look at your coworkers the same again. We're talking about outrageous behavior in the workplace, employees who cross the line, way over the line, to commit acts of stalking, defamation, and violence. These are real stories of real people who turn 9 to 5 into a living nightmare. Stick around because every story comes with a suspenseful reveal, a dose of justice, and a lesson we can all learn. Let's start with case number 1, the overachieving assistant. Meet Courtney, a personal assistant to a high-powered executive in Manhattan. Courtney is known for her dedication, ass-kissing, brown-nosing, all-around yes person. I think you all know what I'm talking about. Every office has one. She was known for her over-the-top dedication. She'd answer emails at 2 a.m., organize her boss's calendar to perfection, and anticipate his needs before he even voiced them. But when her boss, David, casually mentioned that he was looking to promote someone from another department, Courtney took it as a personal slight. After all the time and attention she invested in her boss, David, she was beyond pissed she was not considered for this promotion. She began spreading rumors about the potential candidates, lies about missed deadlines, inappropriate behavior, even embezzlement. Then it escalated. She took it to the next level, planting fake messages to make it look like they were leaking confidential information. It all unraveled when IT discovered a trail leading back to Courtney's work computer. Who in this day and age doesn't realize that everything you do at work on that computer is tracked and monitored and is recorded? I mean, that was really dumb on Courtney's part. She wasn't as smart as she thinks she is. She was arrested for cyberstalking and identity theft, eventually sentenced to 2 years in prison. David, though rattled, used this incident as a company-wide lesson in cybersecurity and the importance of employee vetting. For all you hiring managers out there, I cannot stress enough how important vetting prospective new employees are. If you think about it, an interview is all about the interviewee putting their best self out there. The candidate is selling themselves as the best thing since sliced bread, and you would be a fool not to bring them on board. They give you fantastic samples of how they improved processes and saved their employer millions of dollars by doing so. The candidate presents so perfectly, you just know you have hit the new hire lottery. Qualified, great experience, all the technical skills you could ask for, education, and job-related certificates that are perfect for this new role. For those of you in the middle of job searching, you can possibly relate to the interview dance you have to go through. Having to be excited, friendly, professional, and engaged even though you are seriously not in the mood to jabber on and on about how you're the best fit for this job. Blah, 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 blah. It's an exhausting process having to kiss ass to strangers that could possibly hold your financial or professional future in their hands. You have to play the game. You have to put on an Oscar award-winning performance, and to top it off, you have to act like you're not about to vomit or crap your pants because you're so nervous. Have you ever embellished any work-related accomplishments? Of course you have. Have you ever put a positive spin on a not-so-exciting project result? I would say the majority of people have. Why not? What are the chances these people you are bullshitting right now will ever find out? Chances are extremely slim. Many hiring managers only care about filling a body in an empty vacancy. If you interview with a manager like this, your bullshit will never be uncovered. Now, on the other hand, if you're sitting across the table from me, I'm going to vet you like you are trying to join the top secret science team at NASA, holding all the secrets to the human and alien colonization on Mars. Well, maybe not that stringent, or that deep, but I'm going to call your references. And that doesn't mean your friend or your coworker or your second grade teacher. I want to speak to your supervisor. I have a list of questions to ask, but the most important question is the last question I'm going to ask. Drum roll, please. Would you hire this person again if given the chance? Ta-da! The $1 million question. And for your sake, the answer better be yes. 99% of my experience, the answer is always yes. The one and only no time I received, I was shocked, in total disbelief. I could not believe I was snookered. Well, let me put it this way. It wasn't just me that was snookered. The entire hiring panel was duped, taken for complete idiots, taken for royal dummies, and 100% fooled. From that moment on, I learned a valuable lesson. What you see is not always what you get. I mean, you practice that in real life, but you don't think about that really in an interview setting. For those of us that always like to see the good in everybody, there are times when you have to take off those rose-colored glasses. Our number one candidate turned out to be the biggest loser, waste of space, liar, fraud, and all-around dud. We were on the verge of hiring this number one candidate, and we all sat around thinking, well, this is just going to be checking the box, making sure that we had called the references. Well, let me tell you, it's a good thing we did, because that current supervisor had a lot to say. If I had ignored the vetting process and not called to check or verify references, we would have been hating life and been in HR hell trying to get rid of a huge problem. This person, we found out, physically got into a fight with another employee, would show up to work in the morning, and then shortly after appearing, would disappear for hours on end. Nobody would know who this person was. This person couldn't complete their work. I mean, this person was all around horrible. When I think back about that experience, it really, truly, was amazing. The level of acting that this person did. This person was quick on their feet to answer the questions, great examples. You'd think this person was sitting next to Jesus Christ. That's how good this person presented themselves. Now, you may be thinking, well, maybe the supervisor was just telling a story, just lying, because they wanted to keep this person. Nah, it wasn't the case. This person was currently in the process of being fired under a performance plan and was in a serious hurry to try to find another job. This is one example of why making sure that you speak to their current supervisor is so important. That problem could have been my problem. If you are the candidate and you are bullshitting your way through an interview or half-assing it, making up stories left and right, and by chance you happen to get that job, for the love of God, make sure you produce, because it's only going to be harder for you and harder for management. You may be unlucky and get one of those managers that says, I've had enough. I'm done with you. Bye. My advice for those type of candidates is to put up or shut up. We are in good faith presenting you with an opportunity, a professional opportunity where you can grow and become a productive team member. Vetting or calling references is not always a guaranteed positive outcome. But I'll tell you what, it certainly helps weed out undesirable employees such as Courtney. Ready for story number 2? Let's head to a quiet town in Ohio for the stalker in sales. Jacob was the kind of guy everyone liked. Charming, funny, always a life of the office party. But when he developed a crush on his coworker, Sarah, things took a dark turn. Sarah had politely declined his advances, but Jacob didn't take no for an answer. He began showing up uninvited at her favorite coffee shop, sending dozens of texts a day, and even creating fake social media accounts to follow her online. It all came to a head when Sarah found a GPS tracker under her car. The police were called, and after a lengthy investigation, Jacob was arrested for stalking. During the trial, it came out that Jacob had a history of similar behavior at previous jobs. Of course he did. We didn't vet properly, did we? He was sentenced to 6 months in jail and mandatory counseling. The company implemented stricter workplace harassment and strict vetting policies. The lesson here: boundaries exist for a reason, and ignoring them can land you in serious legal trouble. For our third story, we're heading down to South Texas, where the lunchroom rivalry turned deadly. In a small accounting firm, coworkers Greg and Mike had a long-standing feud over office supplies. It started as petty squabbles about stolen staplers and missing pens, but grew into full-blown arguments in front of their team. One day, Greg accused Mike of taking credit for his work during a big presentation. Words were exchanged, and Greg stormed out. What happened next shocked everyone. Greg waited in the parking lot with a baseball bat. When Mike came out, Greg attacked him. Security cameras caught the whole incident, and Greg was arrested on the spot. Mike survived but required extensive medical care. Greg received a 10-year sentence for aggravated assault. The company was hit with lawsuits from employees who claimed management ignored the escalating tension. They settled for millions and rolled out mandatory conflict resolution training. The moral of this story: if workplace tensions are boiling over, address them before they explode. And now, our final story: the PR nightmare that went viral. In Los Angeles, marketing manager Simone was known for her perfectionism. She expected the best from her team, but often crossed the line into micromanagement and public humiliation. One day, after a heated argument with her assistant Scott, Simone made a terrible mistake. She posted a rant about Scott on her personal social media account, calling him lazy, incompetent. She even went below the belt to attack his attire and his physical looks. Her post went viral, but not in a good way. Scott filed a defamation lawsuit, and other employees came forward with stories of Simone's toxic behavior. The company fired Simone and issued a public apology, but the damage was done. They lost major clients, and Simone became the case study in how not to handle workplace disputes. The takeaway here: think before you post. The internet never forgets, and neither do your coworkers. Have you ever been in a workplace dispute, a subject of stalking in the workplace? Share your story in the comments below, or email me at officedrama24@gmail.com. So there you have it, folks. 4 stories of workplace disasters that started small and escalated into full-blown crimes. If you take anything away from this episode, let it be this: respect your coworkers, set boundaries, and for you hiring managers, vet, vet, vet. Thanks for tuning in to Office Drama 24. If you got a workplace horror story, email me at officedrama24@gmail.com. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review. Until next time, stay safe and stay productive.